Well, my face paint has definitely rubbed off a bit. I slept outside in the rain and I had a 3 hour nap, so I'm feeling quite refreshed. Happy New Year! Whee! This is me doing my final entry on my blog series of the last 100 days of 2024 because it is no longer 2024, it's 2025. So, yeah, Happy New Year, and let's get into the last 10 days to finish up my blog. And I'm not going to be continuing this style of update. This was just for the ending as I kind of prepare myself for my trip. So, uh, the 22nd of December, uh, the 10 days left until the end of the year, was pretty cool. I planned to go down to Nanaimo to visit my friend's family, just to stop in and say hello and have a bit of a conversation. And I decided this is gonna be very difficult, but I really want to go to church, so I squeezed in church in the morning. I went to the early service. I stayed there until communion, and then I left. And it was very wet. It was raining way hard. I thought it'd be drizzling, but it was raining super hard that day. And I'm kind of glad that we're starting on this day because this was like the beginning of the Christmas season for me. But it was very wet. I cycled 20 kilometers to Union Bay and I was soaked through. Even though I spent the day before like waterproofing some of my clothes and testing to see what is my best waterproof gear, and I got soaked in an hour. It was really bad, like sea spray and car spray and so much drizzle, and it was it was bad. Yeah, so I decided, well, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna stop by, see if my friend is available. My friend in Union Bay. I'm gonna stop by and say hello. And they said, "Oh, yeah, I'm available until 1 o'clock because I'm getting a ride to Nanaimo." And I'm like, "Ah, take me too." So I ended up hanging out with my friend for maybe like an hour and a half. And it was really nice. Had some tea, and then the people giving a ride had a bike rack, so it was worked out perfectly. So thank you God so much that I got to go to church and I got to get a little bit of exercise in, and I got a ride to Nanaimo. That was perfect. Um, yeah, then I got to. Oh yeah, I got given. Sorry. Yeah. So what happened next was I arrived in Nanaimo and I cycled around, and one of the reasons why I was going into Nanaimo was to pick up my new sleeping bag, which was a really expensive sleeping bag, but it had a really big discount on it. It was like 33% off. And it was an investment for keeping me warm during my cycling adventure. So that was worth it. And cycling around Nanaimo for like another hour or so, that also got me soaked. Some of the roads were like water slides, it was crazy. But I started getting pretty cold, and I was obviously very wet. But I managed to pick up my sleeping bag. It was a little bit more bulky than I was expecting, but it's amazing and it's so warm. I love it. And then I arrived at my friend's house. I hung out and I got to meet more of the family. And instead of just stopping by and saying hello, I stayed there for the evening and slept over. And they gave me some nice food and stuff like that. I helped cook dinner. It was incredible. It was so wonderful. It was an excellent day, even though I got soaked through twice. Then December 23rd, I know that was a lot, but that was such a cool day. December 23rd, 9 days left. I went for a lovely morning sunny walk. Found a tree posse, these different trees like all standing next to each other was really cool. We had a snowberry wreath mission, trying to find some snowberries to add to a wreath. Had some more lovely food. Um, I had a good conversation with my friend. About radical change and being part of a system that you change. Because if you don't like how things are being ran, often people just leave. But how are you supposed to, bring in a new perspective and advocate for change when you're not part of it. It's like some country not liking some of the laws in the European Union, or the laws that each country in the European Union has to have, and instead of petitioning against the laws, they leave so they can change it themselves. What good is that doing? Come on, you could do so much more better than that. Stay in the system and make it a better system, or change the system. Anyway, yeah. So that was good. Had some nice goodbyes. Went on the big cycle. I saw some wild cats, or maybe raccoons. Sometimes I was confused, but I basically cycled all day. My dinner that I carried with me got spoiled, so some of the dried apples that I was given as a gift saved me. I managed to cycle all the way to Bowser, and I bought 9 potato buns, and I ate 9 potato buns, just because I was so hungry. I didn't think I'd be managed to do this trip in one day. Going to Nanaimo to Comox Valley usually takes me 2 days, but I managed to do it in just under 10 hours. That's 105 kilometers. I've never done that much, so I was very, very proud. The conditions were good though. It only got a little bit rainy at the end, but it was really good. I think I lost my spare gloves, but they were spare gloves, so that's okay. Hopefully someone else can find them and use them. I was very pleased with it, and God is good. God is good, and everybody's like Christmas light decorations were up, so I was like cycling through the night. Most of that time was through the night because I left later in the day, so maybe 5 or 6 hours of that, less than 10 hours, were nighttime. But it was nice. It was just so cool to see all the Christmas lights and decorations lighting up in the darkness. It was really pleasant. Yeah. December 24th, the 8th, I got back home. This is Christmas Eve. I hung out with my family, cleaned my room. We watched the Grinch movie. We went to the midnight service, which was really nice. And my battery came in. I've been considering buying this for years, but I decided I would buy it. It's way smaller than I thought. Tiny. Super lightweight, only weighs about 100 grams. And that's enough to fully charge up my phone. My phone's really bulky and can last like 3 or 4 days, maybe 2 or 3 days actually. But when I'm camping and I'm not using it as much and just using it for maps and navigation and some entertainment, 3 or 4 days. So this can make probably my phone last a week easy, and if I'm really rationing it out, probably 2 weeks. So that's really good for 100 grams there. December 25th, 7 days left until the end of the year, Christmas Day. Christmas! Went to the 9 a.m. service, so like I did the midnight service, came back home, went to bed, woke up, another service, but it was nice. Presents and stuff, very nice, very, very nice dinner that my mom made. She's not cooked Christmas dinner in many, many years, so it was really wonderful to have that happen again. Her friend, a family friend joined us. I got Shrek pin, original Shrek pin from the original movie, original merchandise. It's Shrek, Donkey, and Fiona looking up at the stars with that, and there's a heart. The moon is a heart. Isn't that wonderful? One of my favorite scenes it's referencing, but Fiona doesn't do that in that scene, and it is not retroactive. It's from 2002. Camera's not focusing, but it's from 2002, so that's awesome. One of my favorite gifts, huh? I got some nibs, which I've not had nibs in about 100 days because I stopped eating nibs when I became the sunflower. And I got a cool flashlight gadget. It's really cool, actually. I got a nice sweater also that's in the wash, but I got this cool flashlight gadget. It is crazy. It is very bizarre. So this is gonna be very bright, but yeah. It's pretty bright. It casts like a very wide, like it's just like a wide uniform, like a circle. and then it has, sorry, it's slightly dimmer, and it's got a warm filament, slightly dimmer warm filament. Even this is still really bright though, and I think it's very lightweight and it has other tools on it, so it's pretty incredible how bright it is. But I think it probably only lasts maybe an hour. Seeing the weird artifacting here, not artifacting, but I think that's reflecting in the lens of the camera itself, and for some reason it's appearing over here. That's cool. And then it has a red, which is really bright. Usually red is like the dim thing, but this is, look how bright this is. It's crazy. And I think that's not even SOS, that's just flashing. Pretty crazy. It's got like a magnetic thing at the back. It's got two different little screwdriver heads that you can put at the front here. It's got this little rope cutting, twine cutting thing that's pretty good. It's got a clip. What else does it have? Oh, it's got a little whistle. It's not great, but a little whistle. And then the craziest thing that this thing has is it has a cigarette lighter, which could be used to help start a fire if I don't have any matches left. Look at this. Look how insane this is. That's it heating up from getting red hot on one battery. Let me cover these so you can see that better. Like I'm feeling the heat right now. Isn't that such a weird device? But it's so cool at the same time. It's very lightweight. So it's a bright flashlight that can go for about an hour. It's got a couple of screwdriver heads for some reason. And it can start a fire, cut twine, and you can hook it on a lot of things easily, like on the top of your tent or something. It's, if anything, it's too bright. But yeah, it's just really incredible, even as a bottle opener, which I don't know if I'm going to really ever use that, but a really cool gadget. But I just kind of, it's just such a weird combination of things. It confuses me, like, okay, well, should I not bring my multi-tool and use this and my knife instead? I don't know, but it's really, really interesting. I'm glad I got to show it off to you. Yeah, I got a nice sweater and some sweets, so I was pretty happy, and a little bit of, you know, like card money to just help my financial situation, which was lovely. Okay, day 6. I know this is gonna be a long one, but you know, it's a busy time of year, right? Exciting time of year. More stuff is happening. Not just like I edited video for 6 hours, if I can even manage to do that. I'm doing other stuff. So Boxing Day, I had a jog in the morning, cleaned my room, and sorted out art supplies, and that was pretty much it. There we go. There's a day that's pretty easy to talk about. December 27th, day 5, 5 days left until the end of the year. I cycle clean. So from my cycling a few days ago, I cleaned my bike because there was a lot of like grit and silt and sand and stuff. So I cleaned my bike, and I also noticed that my bike chain was getting rusty. And I'm like, oh, hi, it's rusty? And which is weird because I did give it a bit of oiling while I was riding on the big ride, but um, I guess not enough. I guess all the rain and stuff kind of knocked it all off. So I gave it a very good oiling, and that managed to get rid of most of the rust from that, which is good. Went for a short ride. Went to my local art cabinet, my community art cabinet. Um, I bought my brother some games on Steam. I finally managed to be productive and get some video editing done. Oh my goodness, I've been having such a block from actually doing work recently. Not good, but I was like, well, let's just enjoy Christmas and then let's try and tackle my block because I'm just being lazy. Although I've been exercising and stuff like that, I've not been trying to finish the projects I want to finish before I leave. So I really need to. That's what I need to be doing now. Now that the year has turned. But just making sure I have all my pendants. I got a bell on my necklace right now. And I did some exercise that day. December 28th, 4 days left. I did video editing. Oh, exercise, cooking, nice. And the return of my Pokemon Nuzlocke, my blind Pokemon Nuzlocke Emerald streams. So I did a Pokemon stream, which was cool. Because it had been about a month since I did one of those back when I got so upset, the Shrek the Hall thing. December 29th, 3 days left. I went for a morning run. I did some jumps, like just practicing my jumps and stuff. Notice my right knee is still bad from, I think it got bad from when I was working as a head cook and carrying a lot of very heavy stuff and bending down constantly on it. But I'm struggling to use it. It doesn't have much flexibility and it's very uncomfortable trying like doing specific things. And I've had it sometimes when it's really bad, when I can't cycle very well because it's like clunking, and that's not good. I need to be able to cycle all day, every day. Thankfully, it's not that bad, but I'm just wondering if there's some exercises I can do to help my knee because it clunks and it's uncomfortable to bend down on it and stuff. Just my right knee, though. Yeah, I did a Bleach random versus live stream, which I might do another one today, actually. Dark Souls 2 with my brother. With more Dark Souls 2. And I did some biome research for Canada and put down that information on my phone, which was really cool. And you know, I kind of worry about all my research I do for Canada and like looking at so much. Like, am I ruining the trip for myself? Am I getting rid of all the magic and mystery? No, I don't think so. I think it really comes down to how I engage with it, with the actual experience. Obviously, obsessing over what I expect it to be or like trying to understand it without being there. I mean, that's something I've been doing my whole life, but to a certain extent, yeah, it's kind of distracting, and maybe I'm not being as prepared in some ways because I'm obsessing over information and statistics, but I love statistics. But at the same time, with stuff like biomes and animals, like researching beforehand, I feel like means I can engage and understand what's happening, because that's one of my favorite things is when you go walk through a forest for a few hours, you can tell like, oh, this is like a rocky bit, this is more of like a swampy bit, the trees are changing here, or there's some more deciduous trees, or I'm noticing more deer tracks in this area. And like take that like several kilometers of forest and then expand it to a few, several thousand kilometers for Canada. You're going through so many biomes, and even though like, oh, the prairies are like endless, there's still different types. Kind of, there's like dry grassland, wet grassland, fens, um, transitional areas to light boreal forest in the north. So there's still stuff to consider, and I think it's good to be informed about that. And you can, hopefully I can better keep track of, oh, I'm in a montane area, or this is when it gets um alpine, and so I can sort of try have these ideas of biomes to help me notice when there are significant changes, and hopefully I can understand more subtle changes on my own accord while going through them. Now, I wouldn't want to research like the subtle sub biomes and like map out every single part of my expected route and be like, so between 750 kilometers in and 980 kilometers in, I will have this specific sub biome where there's this specific tree. That is too much. Even though I'm tempted to do stuff like that, that is too much. But knowing just the biomes of like grassland, Arcadia forest, taiga, snowy, boreal, or rocky Canadian shield, like those big biomes where I'll be going through them for like a few weeks, couple weeks, maybe a month. That's good to know. So yeah, I did some more exercise, and measured some weight gain. I need to do a bit more exercise today and eat a lot because I've been slacking the last few days. But that was a good day. So December 30th, 2 days left till the end of the year. Man, we're already at 20 minutes. Look at that. Cleaned my room up more, and my room is looking a lot more barren. My bed is really messy, but I guess I can give a little. Look, it's looking a little bit better. I know you probably don't know what it usually looks like. It's mostly the floor space that's a lot more clearer, but yeah, it's looking a bit nicer in here. Oh, Dark Souls 2 with my brother. I hung out with my friend also. We went to the music store. Usually in the far corner, there's a bunch of musical instruments like just stacked up against the wall and like amps. But I sold 2 amps. I sold my bass guitar. I sold a massive case also. Didn't get much money for it, but hey, it's out of the way. And now I have a few instruments, still a few instruments, but um, definitely my smaller instruments I'm keeping, like my ukulele, my U-bass. I do have an electric guitar that I'm keeping, but it's just better because they only would like bought it for like $40, and if I were to get an entry level electric guitar, it would be like $200. So might as well just try and store it and then save myself 100 and something dollars and just keep the guitar that I'm used to, you know. Yeah, and then I reread a bit of an old diary thing that was kind of difficult, and I was like, whoa, this feels really weird. What do I do with this? But I think I need to get back to that because I didn't finish it. But it is really uncomfortable, but sad, but uh, strange to read. It's just like a really old diary, and I'm like, whoa, this is weird. Anyway, the last day of the year, the 31st of December. I did research on wildlife ranges in Canada, so like the biomes, but animals. And some things lined up. Some animals like to stay to certain biomes or like to avoid the prairies, like some of us, right? Um, it was very cool. Watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares. We went ice skating. Me and my family went ice skating. I actually think I finally managed to somewhat get the technique down. I've been going ice skating like once a year for like 10 years, and I've not managed to get the actual proper technique down, but I think I started to finally understand. My sister's very good at it. I probably had the most unique technique and posture and stance in the whole rink, I think, though. It was not really a good thing, but I definitely had something unique going on. And I got this face paint there, which is just started to rub off after that nap I took. Um, yeah, I had a lot of popcorn, and we watched Star Wars Episode 2. And when the new year came, it was I paused the movie and we are like, "Yay, Happy New Year!" And we paused it on the moment where Jango Fett has been beheaded, and his son is holding his father's beheaded head. A very dark moment in the film, and we like hit the pause button and was like, "Happy New Year, guys! Yay!" It was maybe not the best time, but I do remember that frame now, and that was basically it. That was the end of the year. That was the end of the year. I did a little prayer, say, "God, may I follow you this year." Um, and it's 2025. My rest of my family went to bed, and I decided let's sleep outside. The weather forecast. I don't know if the people at the weather forecast station or whoever does it, if they're busy having a happy new year, but it said that last night the weather forecast was yes, no rain. It's going to be just cloudy, and then today it's like it's going to be sunny. And it's sunny and drizzly right now. And last night it was raining. Like it was raining and drizzling. It was light rain to moderate rain, but it was raining all night pretty much. And I got pretty wet out there. It was not a very comfortable night's sleep. And that's why I came in, had a big breakfast, and then had like a 3 hour nap here and watched some YouTube videos about snakes. But I'm feeling really refreshed now. You know, wasn't like the super explosive start to 2025, but I rested and I learned, hey, take advantage. I was like, oh, I'm gonna sleep outside every day of the year. Don't do stuff just for your ego and your pride. I have a comfortable bed inside. Why not use that and get just better rest? Just get a better night's sleep indoors. Like why? Why just lay in the grass in the rain? Like why do that? You know. So that was how my first day of 2025 went. But that's not what this is really about anymore. This is about the last 10 days, and I've already talked about that. So I have nothing else to say. Anybody who's been following this blog series from day 100 to, you know, day zero, no days left until 2025, you know, or of 2024. Thank you. Thank you for being interested. And I really thought I would be doing a lot more to get ready for this trip. But now it's 2025. And yeah, the time has come. I'm not leaving. I'm waiting until I get called, and things are not ready yet. But I want to get things ready. So as soon as I get called, I can go immediately and not be like, oh no, I have so much things to do. I can't just abandon this. I need to have at least 3 or 4 more days. Let's try and get that done now. And then I can do all the things that don't matter as much or will stop me from actually going in the meantime after I get everything prepared. So I can just go, you know. Again, was it Matthew 4:20? Immediately they left their nets and followed him. I want to be able to do that, and so that's why I've been trying to not do my projects as much because I could just leave my projects, but stuff like cleaning up my room and sorting out my stuff so it's not in the way, and that's just something I have to do. I can't just leave my room as it is, especially if like my family decide to move in the meantime, or if my brother wants to take over my room or something. I want to just not have the burden of my stuff on other people while I'm away. Yeah, so that's what I should be doing, and I should be exercising more. The last 2 weeks, I have been exercising a lot, and I've been eating a lot, and I've put on a good amount of weight. A good amount of weight in these 100 days overall, but I've just not been doing as much exercise as I thought I would be doing, and I thought I would be doing more progress with my projects that I haven't. But I have done some, and I've gotten a lot of rest. And to be honest, with how probably busy and exhausting this next year is going to be, some rest, I can take that. I can appreciate that. And time with my family is important too. And I've been trying to spend a lot more time with my family also. So, yeah, I don't regret it. This is how things have gone. But also 2024 is gone. So there's really no need for me to continue this video because this video is about last year and last year is over. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful 2025. And I'll be posting some videos kind of explaining my trip a little bit more in detail and setting it up. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Bye everyone. See you. See you later. See you in the next in this year now because it's this year. See you in 2025. Goodbye. God bless you. God loves you. Have a great day.